Dear students, today we're going to complete our study of the English tenses, and we're going to have the present perfect and the past simple. First, the present perfect. What is the formation of the present perfect? How do we form a sentence in the present perfect? As you know, we form a sentence in the present perfect using have plus the past participle. These are some examples when we say I have opened, we have opened, etc. Or she has opened, or it has opened. For the negative, we just use the negative particle not and put it after have or has. So we say they have not opened or she has not opened. For the questions, we start with the auxiliary here, and the auxiliary in this case is have or has. So we can say have I opened or has she opened. As for the past simple, we form the past simple using just the past form of the verb or the second form of the verb. When we say someone opened, so this is the past simple. For the negative, we use did plus not. Someone did not open. And as for the question, we treat it as the auxiliary and we start with it. So we say, did someone open? Now, let's talk about the use or the different uses of these tenses. We are going to start with the use of the present perfect. As you see here, the present perfect tells us about the past and about the present. It shows the relationship between the past and the present. So we use it for an action in the period leading up to the present. When we say, for example, the visitors have arrived means that, okay, they arrived some time ago and they are here now. So this sentence shows a relationship between a time in the past and the present. The same thing can be said about the second sentence. When I say I have done my assignment, it means that I finished it, okay, a short time ago, and now it is ready to be submitted. So as you see here, these two sentences shows some sort of relationship between the past and the present, and this is the present perfect. We can also use the present perfect for repeated actions, the actions which are done more than one time. When we say Debbie has been to Scotland twice, it means that up to this moment, Debbie has been to Scotland 2 times, and we expect that she may go again in the future. Okay, another example. I have done a lot I have ridden a lot of times. So I have ridden here. It means that I have done this before many times and I may do it again in the future. These are some typical expressions which we use with the present perfect. These are just, recently, lately, already, before, so far, still, ever, never, today, this morning, this evening, for weeks, for years, since, and so on. So these are expressions which usually occur in a sentence in this tense, in the present perfect. Now let's talk about the use of the past simple. We use the past simple simply for an action in the past, an action which started and finished. When we say the shop opened last week, so the action of opening started and finished last week. I bought some gloves yesterday. The earthquake happened in 1905. As you see here, this simply, the past simple refers to an action which started and finished in the past. And these are some typical expressions which can be used with this tense. Yesterday, this morning, this evening, last week, last year, a week or a month ago, that day, that afternoon, the other day, the other week at 11 o'clock, on Tuesday in 1990, just recently, once earlier, then next after and after that. The relationship between the present perfect and the past simple is confusing. Sometimes we are confused whether to use the present perfect or the past perfect. In fact, when we talk about this, The choice of one of these tenses depends on whether the speaker sees the action as related to the present or as related to the past. If it is related to the present, we use just the present perfect. When we say the shop has just opened, this means that it is open now. Okay? And when I say the shop opened last week, means it is not open now. Okay? We talk about something which happened, something which finished. Okay? So as you see here, the two sentences can refer to the same action. The present perfect tells us something about the present. The shop is open now. But the past simple means a finished time. It means last week. So let's compare these two sentences. When we say, I have been here since 3 o'clock. Have been here, it means that I'm still here. But if you say, I was there, it means that I'm no longer there. I left. Simply, I left. Also, when we talk about the present perfect and the past simple, we have to remember that we use the present perfect for repeated actions. It means that the action may happen again in the future. And the past simple means that the series of this action is over. It will not happen again. When we say Tom has acted in more than 50 films, this means that Tom is expected to act again. His career has continued up to now. But when we say Tom acted more than 50 films, means he stopped acting. Maybe he is dead now or his career is over. In fact, there are some adverbials which are confusing because these adverbials can be used either with the present perfect or the past simple. So this is a point of confusion. Let's have some examples to see this. Let's start with these words, just and recently. These two words, when we use these two words, whether with the present perfect or the past simple, there is little difference in meaning. The meaning is no different, it is the same. So when we say, I have just heard the news, it means the same as I just heard the news. We have recently moved house. It is the same as we recently moved house. So this is the first point. When we talk about just and already, there is no difference in meaning. But compare these two examples. When we say, I have already heard the news, it means that I heard the news before now. But when we say, I already knew before you told me, it means before then, before you told me. So here already refers to now in the first sentence, and the second already refers to then. When we use already with the present perfect, it refers to the present, and when we use already with the past simple, it refers to the past. One more word is once, twice. Okay, these words are used with the present perfect to mean that the number of times, okay, the action has happened up to now. Okay, so we use once and twice to refer to the number of times this action happened up to now. This means that up to now, 2 times. It means that it is expected to become 3 times and 4. For example, when we say we have been to Scotland once, it means that in the future this may be twice, or it may be a lot of times. So we are expected to increase the times. When we say this is the 3rd time my car has broken, it means that it is expected to break again and again. This is with the present perfect. But with the past simple, we usually mean at a time in the past. When I say once I talk about one point of time in the past. Okay, so once with the present perfect, it refers to the number of times, the number of repeated actions. But in the past, I talk about only one point in the past. When we say we went to Scotland once, I talk about one time in the past. We also use expressions like this morning and this afternoon and today with the present perfect when they include the present time. When the time is over, we use the past simple. So again, these expressions, this morning, this afternoon, today, okay, these are used with the present perfect when they include the present time. But when the time is over, we use just the past simple. Compare these two sentences. It has been windy this morning. Okay, it means that the morning is not over yet. We are still in the morning when I speak or when I say this sentence. But when I say it was windy this morning, it means that we are now in the afternoon. Okay, this time is over. Okay, and this is the difference between the two things. Thank you.